If you remember, we were going to do the second verse a little bit like this other song that I have a sample of here from McCall. I'm just going to play a little bit of it, of the song we're going to kind of copy the vibe of a little bit.
Look away when I'm supposed to. Hide from everybody else's eyes. Don't say it if you.
And I've come up with a basic structure for that, something to go into the second verse. I'll play it real quick. It's down here. Cool. So that's what we got so far. And if you're curious, I just used a couple sounds from Starlight 2, which is Superstar O's plug-in from Industry Kits. The bass and the chords are from that. And then I used a Serum sound for the pluck. That is, I think it's called Music Box, something like that, a preset. But one big difference you can hear between mine and what they have in that McCall track is that there's it's like kind of growing throughout. It's like da 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 da, and it gets a little like starts off soft and gets a little bit louder with each phrase. So I want to add that type of volume automation to what I have here, because right now it's just da 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 da, and that's all there is to it, right? We want to add a little motion to it. Here, let me play it again, if it'll let me. There we go. All right, so I could do this, we've gone over volume automation before, and, I could go in and set volume automation for each of these tracks, but what I want to do is group them together and just put one volume automation on all three of them at once. So I'll show you how to do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to name all of these tracks and assign them to a channel. So pulse bass is on 20, 21, and 22. So this one's 20. I'm left clicking, or right clicking, sorry, going to track mode, going to audio track, and we're going to go to 20 here. There we go. This one's going to be on 21. This one's going to be on 22. And I'm just going to name them what the patterns are named. So pulse bass. All right. Pulse chords. Okay, and pluck. Actually, it's Music Box. I'm going to name it Music Box, just so I remember what it is. Okay. All right, cool. So now what we want to do is we're going to go to our mixer. And we want to apply the same. You can see the renamed channels here: pulse bass, pulse chords, music box. I'm going to name this channel right here. I'm going to name this volume automation. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to route to this track only. So I'm going to route to that track only. So all I'm doing is I'm going to the track, I'm right clicking, or sorry, I'm not right clicking. I am right clicking on the target track and clicking route to this track only. So once again, I'm highlighting the track I want to send to another track, like that. Then I'm going to the channel I want to send it to, in this case volume automation. I'm right clicking at the bottom and I'm choosing route to this track only. Now what this does is it's sending all of these directly into this, which is feeding back into the master channel, which is the mix, the entire song. So what we're going to do now is we're going to automate this volume here. Actually, I'm going to do it with an effect. I'm going to do it with Shaper Box, make it even a little bit easier so I don't have to go in there and edit all the little volume automations. Shaper Box has a, and there's a FL Studio tool called Gross Beat that does something very similar, but you can go into the volume. Well, I think it's a sidechain effect. Here we go. You can kind of hear it's already doing it. So it's on a quarter of a measure. So I think I just need to scoot this. I need to raise it so, you know, there's some volume at the very beginning and it's not just quiet. Oops. There we go. I'm just pushing this up here. And I'm going to push this up here. And then I'm going to drag this a little bit left. There we go. Let's see what that does. Let's listen. This isn't what we want. We want it actually to cover the entire. We want it to come all the way across, because you can see in the graphics that all 4 of the little pulses are coming up in here. Let's watch it again. There we go. There it is. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Watch it again. So what this is doing is it's starting the volume at close to the middle. You know, this is the middle line right here. So it's starting at about half, and then it's just slowly raising it all the way to the end, so it grows with each phrase. So let's take a listen. There we go. And that's exactly the effect that we're looking for. So we're just running that through this volume automation. You know what? I'm gonna show you another trick. The only problem with this is when we go to export the stems. It's gonna volume automation is gonna have all 3 of those sounds as one stem, and we may want to separate these 3 instruments. So there's a problem with this method, doing it that way. But what we can do to make it easy is this shaper box that we just set, we can drag this plugin over to each channel for each instrument, so each one has the same effect running on it, and route it back to the master channel. So I'll show you what I mean. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to route these back to the master channel. Master channel, can't see it here, but it's this one right here. So I'm just going to right click there, or actually I'm going to double click. Hold on 1 second. So bear with me. All right, so I'm going to double click here. It's hard to see. I'm going to double click here, and this will get rid of any routing. So it's not going to route to anywhere once I double click this. There we go. Now it's not routing to anywhere. Now we're going to go over here to master. Actually, the master just stays in the left panel. I'm going to right click, route to this track only, and we're going to do the same for the other 2. So double clicking, right clicking on master, route to this track only, double clicking. All right, route to this track only. There we go. All right, cool. So now it's basically how it was. There's no automation because it's not routing to this anymore, but we're going to take this shaper box plugin and we're going to drag it over to each of these channels. And the way you do that is I click the little caret right here. Excuse me. We're going to excuse me, goodness. See this little save preset as? We're going to drag this over. So I'm just holding down my left mouse button, dragging it over, and I'm just going to drop it into Music Box. There we go. And I'm going to do the same exact thing for the other 2 channels. So save preset as, over to the chords. There we go. And then we're going to drag it over. Save preset as. We're going to drag it over to the bass. There we go. All right, now let's take a listen. You can hear it growing. There we go. Perfect. All right, and then I'm just going to set this channel back to default. So we're not going to use this volume automation channel. I'm just going to right click, go to File, and go to Default, and it'll turn it back to, it'll take away that plugin. As soon as I click Default, if you look on the right, it's going to get rid of that plugin, and it's going to rename it Insert and a number. So there we go. So now it's Insert 23. no plugins. So it's just set back to default. All right, so we covered some cool things in this one. So we learned how to route channels to other channels. We learned how to do volume automation using ShaperBox. And it's basically a side chain. They call it side chaining, but you're not really side chaining anything. And we learned how to copy one effects plugin from one channel over to another channel. All right, cool. So let's keep going. Hey, what's going on? I hope you've enjoyed this training. This training is just part of a larger course, so if you want to take the whole course, just go to this playlist right here. Also, if you subscribe to my channel, you're going to get a lot of information on how to get your music into TV and film. So if that's something that interests you, go ahead and subscribe, comment, like, all of those things. Let's go.